In this video, we're going to use the FeatureLayerManager object to update JSON properties for our FeatureLayer object. Now we're going to keep it quite simple in this video, and throughout this course we're going to see more and more of these properties utilized. So open up the update flproperties.py script from the FeatureLayer object folder. Some of the FeatureLayer object's JSON properties are system maintained, while others can be updated via the ArcGIS API for Python. Now, it is very much trial and error to see what you can update. But we can use the FeatureLayerManager property, which is a FeatureLayerManager object, and use the update definition method to update JSON properties for our FeatureLayer object. Let's throw over to documentation for the update definition method. Here we have the update definition method for the FeatureLayerManager object. This method modifies a definition of a hosted feature layer. There's one required parameter, and it is a dictionary, and that is the JSON dict parameter. It says here it is the part to add to the hosted service, but it is the part to update. The format can be derived from the properties property, and we saw the properties property in the previous video. And we are going to run layer level modifications, which means we run updates on each individual feature service layer object. The update definition method will return a JSON message as a dictionary indicating success or error. So let's head back to our Python script. Up top we are importing our GIS class so we can access our ArcGIS Online content, and we actually do not need to import our feature layer class because we are not going to use it in this workflow. We first access ArcGIS Online using the GIS class and supplying in our home string. We assign our GIS object to a variable called AGOL. We then use that GIS object and access the content manager get method and supply in our feature service item ID, which I'll paste in now from my notepad. The get method will return an item object that will assign to a variable called item. We have 4 feature layers in our feature service, and we're going to update the JSON properties for all 4. First up is our point feature layer. Here we are using list comprehension to return a feature layer object from the item object. So for each feature layer object in our item object layers property, if the layers property name is equal to our point layer name, then return that feature layer. This comprehension always returns a list, and we want the first feature layer object returned. We'll assign our feature layer object to a variable called FL. We'll print the name of the feature layer to screen. We create an update dictionary. We're going to update the name to trail viewpoints, the description, and the copyright text. I'm going to create a variable called status. I'm going to set that to equal our feature layer object, and we're using the manager property, which is our feature layer manager object, and we're going to update the definition with the update definition method. That has one required parameter, and that is the JSON dict, and we'll set that to equal our update dictionary above. We'll then print the status to screen to see if we get a success or an error. Now if I see the output from the previous video, the name of our layer is point layer for training with FDM. We're going to update that to trail viewpoints, and we're also going to update the description to scenic viewpoints along a park trail, and we'll update the copyright text to be no copyright created with FDM course and free to use. Now before running the script, I'm also going to just walk through updating the other 3 layers. Here we're using list comprehension once more, except this time I'm going to use the properties ID property, and if that equals 1, which is our polyline layer ID, then update that layer. We'll do the same for our polygon layer. So we're going to update our polyline layer to park trails and our polygon layer to park boundaries. We'll also update the description and the copyright text. And for our county boundaries layer, we'll update the name of the layer to county boundaries, and also update the description and the copyright text to Táilteann Éireann, and it is available on an open data license. You can see the current name of our feature layers in the screenshot currently displayed. I'm going to run this script and we should see our feature layer name for each layer printed to screen along with the status returned for each update definition call. Our script is complete and we can see that for each layer we were returned success true, indicating that the update was successful. Now if I comment out each of these examples, besides where we print the property's name, we should see that the update has taken effect for each of our layers. And for our point layer, I'm going to print the full properties just to see that the description and copyright text also was successful, and it will be for the rest of our layers. So I'll rerun the script, and of course I'm getting an error. Those feature layer names do not exist anymore, so the first example is doomed to fail. Let me head over to ArcGIS Online instead. Here we have the Park Trails feature service, and we can see that the name for all 4 of our feature layers have been updated. And if I click into trail viewpoints, we can see that the description is now scenic viewpoints along a park trail, and the acknowledgements have been updated with the copyright information. I'll go back out and I'll show the county boundaries, that this layer represents the county boundaries Leinster of Ireland, and the acknowledgements has the open data license from Tailteann Éireann. So we have successfully used the ArcGIS API for Python to update the JSON properties for a feature layer in ArcGIS Online. Make sure to continue on to the next video in this series, and also make sure to subscribe. Take care.